first thing that goes through your head when you hear of somebody taking their own life is shock. And then I guess your immediate question next is why? Why would they do something like that? And I would say that it's left a pretty big scar on our family. I sure think about him a lot. Yeah, if you don't mind, we're fixing to get started on this other load, and just call me back and confirm if you don't mind, just after you get a hold of him or whatever. And if that's the case, we'll load it up and we'll go get it done this morning.
All right, man. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Blake.
Bye.
Bye. My name is Grant Heinrich. I am from Slayton, Texas. I grew up on a cotton farm about 8 miles from here. I went to high school at Lubbock Cooper and went on to college at West Texas A&M University, and I got a degree in plant, soil, and environmental science. Got into the ag aviation industry and fell in love with it, and I have been in this seat ever since. The community that I service is not only a lot of my family, but a lot of our neighbors and family friends that I've known my entire life. With farming also, what's really awesome about it is you get the ability to be around your family and your community and really strengthen the bond that you have with like your parents and your siblings. And I couldn't imagine bringing my kids up any other way. Really, this year is looking pretty bleak for our 2022 crop. Like what we were just spraying was irrigated, but even with the irrigation that we have here, it's not enough without any rainfall to really make a crop. Before about 10 days ago, we were over 200 days without any significant measurable rainfall in this area, and until we get a little bit of help from Mother Nature, that's going to constantly be in our back. The stress of the ag industry that we're in can play a huge role in weighing on people's mental health. This is about 2 years ago. We had a farmhand needing a part-time job. He is about 4 years younger than I am. And so really he was like the younger brother I never had. When we were working out on the farm, we were fixing drip leaks. We were doing some of the not so fun things, hoeing weeds. And I really got to know him and got to help train him and helped him learn how to drive a tractor and all of those things, that you might teach a sibling, and got really close with him. When I got into this business shortly after I'd moved to this office, I got a text message. I just happened to be looking down at my phone. I got a text message, and basically what it was his last goodbye. And I glanced down, I looked at it had just sent, and I was like, oh my God, he's still alive. Like, I've got to go find him. I jumped out of the seat, got in my pickup, and got on the phone because I knew he was out at the farm somewhere. Unfortunately, in my life, I've been around suicide way too much. I've had an uncle and 2 cousins pass away by suicide. One when I was in college. Well, it was on my 19th birthday, and he was like an older sibling to me. Honestly, he was my Superman, and he was everything I wanted to be. And when he passed away, it felt like we were so strong as a family. We had, rock solid family, but that day it felt like the foundation cracked. The way I heard my aunt cry at that funeral, I told myself I could never allow that to happen to my family ever again. It's about 12 minutes to get from this office to the barn, and I think I made it in about 6. So as I was pulling up, a couple of our other farm hands were pulling up to the barn, and they were, asking me what we needed to do. I said, y'all go around, start checking the inside of the pieces of equipment. And, the whole time my heart was beating. I was scared to death of what I was fixing to walk up on. And I was so afraid that he had already made a bad decision. And when I saw him, he had a revolver in his mouth, and he was crying. And I remember just being so thankful that he was still alive. I said, can I talk to you? It's kind of a blur how it all happened, but I had just had my first child about 6 months prior to this. And so I got to talking to him about how proud I was of my son, and that I knew that his parents were proud of him and that they wanted him around because I was so proud to have my kid. And I kind of got him talked off a ledge a little bit, and he put the gun down and put it kind of by his side, but he still had it in his hand, and we all kind of were able to just talk to him. And I told him, I was like, look, dude, we're all here for you. We're all right here for you. Ultimately, he laid the gun down and walked over to me, and I gave him the biggest hug that I could give him, because I was like, man, I was just so proud that we got to keep him, because I know what that can do to a family, and he's got such a good family, and I was just so proud that day that he got to go home. We all got to go home. So. About a year or so after, when my cousins had passed away, there was a lot of concern in our family for, this potentially happening to one of, the other cousins. And I kind of took that really hard. I was like, listen, I don't want to feel like I need to go see somebody. Don't make me out to be that, But I think a lot of times in the culture that we have with our people in agriculture, is we're hard-headed. We don't want to admit that we have a problem, and we dang sure don't want to go see anybody about it. And I would say that that could be one of our biggest downfalls, is that we're too prideful. We can talk about weather and drought and high ag prices all day long and how tough things can be, but a lot of our biggest problem is if we're getting eaten up inside about something, there's professionals out there in the world for a reason. And I think that a lot of the times that when you have to go see somebody like that, it comes off as a weakness. But in reality, that's okay. That's okay. We don't like to talk about it a whole lot, but I've always heard that, if you refuse to talk about it, it's like that person died twice.